shouldn't have gone inside. The building had been abandoned for years, its windows shattered, its walls covered in layers of graffiti. But something about it called to me. Maybe it was curiosity, or maybe something deeper, something darker. I stepped through the gaping doorway, my flashlight trembling in my grip. The air was thick with dust, the smell of mold and decay pressing into my lungs. The floorboards creaked under my weight as I moved deeper inside. I told myself I'd only take a quick look, but the longer I stayed, the harder it was to leave. The silence was suffocating, pressing against my ears like the deep ocean. And then, somewhere in the distance, a noise. A soft shuffle, like feet dragging across the floor. I froze. My breath hitched in my throat. Hello? My voice barely carried through the vast emptiness. Nothing, just the oppressive quiet. I took another step, my flashlight casting long, twisted shadows against the crumbling walls. Then I saw them, footprints in the dust. Fresh, leading further inside. My stomach turned to ice. I wanted to leave. Every instinct screamed at me to turn around and run. But something made me follow them. The trail led me to a staircase, its wooden steps warped and broken. The air grew colder the higher I climbed, my breath fogging in front of me. At the top, a hallway stretched into the dark, doors lining both sides. Then a whisper. Close, right behind me. I spun around, heart slamming against my ribs. No one there, just my flashlight flickering, the bulb dimming for just a second. But in that moment, I saw it. A figure at the end of the hallway. Motionless, staring. It had no face. The air around me thickened, my body paralyzed in sheer terror. Then the figure moved, not walked, glided, rushing toward me with impossible speed. The last thing I remember was the light going out and a cold hand closing around my throat. And then, nothing. I don't know when I first noticed him. Maybe it was when I heard the faint echo of footsteps that weren't mine. Or maybe it was the feeling of being watched, prickling at the back of my neck. Either way, I knew I wasn't alone. The abandoned building had seemed like a good idea at first. A shortcut home, a thrill, a dare to myself. Now, every crumbling wall, every gaping doorway, felt like a trap. My flashlight flickered as I moved deeper inside, my breathing shallow, my ears straining for any sound beyond my own heartbeat. Then, there it was. A soft scrape against the floor. I froze. My pulse thundered. Hello? My voice barely carried through the vast emptiness. No response. I swallowed hard and quickened my pace, my footsteps now deliberate, controlled. But then, another sound. Closer, slow, measured steps, keeping just out of sight. He was following me. I turned sharply, sweeping my flashlight across the darkened hall. Nothing. Just peeling wallpaper, rotting wood, and the thick, suffocating silence. But I knew he was there. I walked faster, resisting the urge to run. Running meant panic. Running meant noise. I needed to be smart. I needed to. A shadow shifted at the edge of my vision. My stomach clenched. He was closer now. I ducked into a room, pressing myself against the wall, holding my breath. Silence. Maybe he didn't see me. Maybe. A soft chuckle echoed from the hallway. Slow. Amused. He knew I was here. A long pause, then fingertips dragging along the wall outside. He was playing with me. I gritted my teeth, scanning the room for another exit. A window, broken but reachable. My only way out. I moved carefully, avoiding the shattered glass on the floor. Then, the footsteps stopped. I turned. He stood in the doorway, smiling. The flashlight sputtered and died. The last thing I heard was the creak of the floor as he stepped toward me. I never should have stepped inside. The abandoned factory was supposed to be empty, just rusted machinery and dust-choked air. But the moment I crossed the threshold, I felt it, a presence, watching, waiting. At first, it was just sounds, a soft scrape, a distant thud. Maybe the wind, I told myself. But then I heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, deliberate. I wasn't alone. I turned to leave, but the footsteps sped up. Someone was running toward me. I bolted down the dark hallway, my breath ragged, my pulse hammering in my ears. Shadows stretched along the cracked walls, flickering in the dim light leaking through shattered windows. The footsteps followed, relentless, closing the distance. I didn't dare look back. A rusted staircase spiraled downward, my only way out. I leapt down the steps, the metal groaning beneath my weight. My pursuer was right behind me, their breathing ragged, hungry. The exit was ahead, a broken doorway leading to the night. Just a few more steps. Then, fingers brushed my shoulder. I screamed and threw myself forward, crashing through the doorway and tumbling into the cold grass outside. My hands scraped against gravel, my lungs burning. Silence. I turned back, gasping. The doorway stood empty. The factory was silent once more. But just before I ran, I saw it, faint footprints in the dust, stopping just at the threshold. Whoever had chased me never left.